In the year 2157, humanity had just begun to explore the outer reaches of our solar system when the first signs of extraterrestrial life appeared. Dr. Olivia Reeves, a brilliant astrophysicist at the Global Space Agency, detected an anomalous signal emanating from the vicinity of Jupiter. As she and her team worked tirelessly to decipher the message, strange objects began to materialize in Earth's orbit. The world watched in awe as sleek, obsidian vessels descended from the heavens, their hulls shimmering with an otherworldly iridescence. Governments scrambled to respond, and militaries around the globe were placed on high alert. However, the aliens made no aggressive moves, instead broadcasting a message of peace and friendship in all of Earth's major languages. They called themselves the Krelthax, a spacefaring race from a distant star system. Their leader, High Emissary Zornath, requested a meeting with Earth's representatives at the United Nations headquarters in New York. The UN Secretary-General, Amara Okafor, agreed to the meeting, hoping to establish peaceful relations with the first confirmed extraterrestrial civilization. As the day of the meeting approached, Dr. Reeves was called upon to join the human delegation. Her expertise in xenobiology and her role in first detecting the Krelthax signal made her an invaluable asset. Joining her were Admiral Jonathan Blackwood, a seasoned military strategist, and Ambassador Liang Wei, a respected diplomat known for his skill in navigating complex negotiations. The meeting began with an air of cautious optimism. High Emissary Zornath, a tall, slender being with iridescent skin and large, multifaceted eyes, spoke of his people's desire for peaceful coexistence and cultural exchange. He offered to share advanced technology that could solve many of Earth's pressing problems, from clean energy to disease eradication. However, as the talks progressed, Dr. Reeves noticed subtle inconsistencies in the Krelthax's statements. Their body language, though alien, seemed to betray a hint of deception. She shared her concerns with Admiral Blackwood, who had also been harboring suspicions about the aliens' true intentions. As a gesture of goodwill, the Krelthax invited a small delegation of humans to visit their mothership in orbit. Dr. Reeves, Admiral Blackwood, and a team of scientists and diplomats accepted the invitation. Upon boarding the massive vessel, they were awestruck by the advanced technology on display. During the tour, Dr. Reeves managed to discreetly scan some of the Krelthax systems with a handheld device she had smuggled aboard. The data she collected painted a disturbing picture. The Krelthax were not the benevolent visitors they claimed to be. Their ship systems were primed for warfare, with weapons far beyond anything humanity possessed. As the human delegation prepared to return to Earth, Admiral Blackwood created a diversion, allowing Dr. Reeves to access a Krelthax computer terminal. In a heart-stopping moment, she downloaded a trove of alien data before they were ushered back to their shuttle. Upon their return, Dr. Reeves and Admiral Blackwood presented their findings to Secretary-General Okafor and other world leaders. The Krelthax data revealed a chilling truth: Earth was not the first world they had visited. The aliens had a long history of infiltrating and subjugating less advanced civilizations, strip mining their resources before moving on to the next target. As the implications of this discovery sank in, the leaders of Earth faced a monumental decision. Should they confront the Krelthax with this knowledge, risking open conflict? Or should they play along, buying time to prepare for the inevitable confrontation? The debate raged through the night, with impassioned arguments on all sides. In the end, it was Dr. Reeves who tipped the balance. She argued that humanity's greatest strength was not in its weapons or technology, but in its unity and determination. If they were to have any hope of surviving the Krelthax threat, they would need to stand together and use their ingenuity to overcome the technological gap. As dawn broke over New York, Secretary-General Okafor made a historic announcement to the world. She revealed the true nature of the Krelthax and called upon all nations to set aside their differences and unite against this existential threat. The response was overwhelming, as people around the globe rallied to the cause of human survival. In orbit, unaware that their deception had been uncovered, the Krelthax continued to prepare for their eventual takeover of Earth. But humanity was no longer the unsuspecting prey they had anticipated. In labs and factories around the world, scientists and engineers began working around the clock to adapt and reverse engineer the alien technology Dr. Reeves had stolen. As the first part of our story draws to a close, the stage is set for a conflict that will determine the fate of humanity. The Krell-Thax, with their vast technological superiority, believe victory is assured. But they have underestimated the resourcefulness, courage, and sheer determination of the human spirit. The battle for Earth is about to begin, and humanity is ready to fight for its very existence. The aftermath of the first encounter with the Krell-Thax left humanity in a state of heightened alert. As news of the aliens' true intentions spread, governments worldwide mobilized their forces, preparing for what many believed would be an inevitable conflict. The United Earth Alliance, formed in response to the Krell-Thax threat, worked tirelessly to coordinate global defense efforts. Dr. Olivia Reeves, now heading a special research division, focused on deciphering and reverse engineering the alien technology she had stolen. Her team made significant breakthroughs, developing shields capable of withstanding Krell-Thax energy weapons and improving human spacecraft propulsion systems. These advancements would prove crucial in the coming battles. Admiral Jonathan Blackwood oversaw the rapid expansion and modernization of Earth's space fleet. Shipyards around the world worked around the clock, churning out vessels equipped with the latest innovations born from Dr. Reeves' research. The Admiral knew that despite these improvements, humanity still faced an uphill battle against the technologically superior Krell-Thax. As Earth prepared for war, the Krell-Thax made their first aggressive move. A small human colony on Mars fell under attack, catching the defenders off guard. The colony's distress call reached Earth, sparking outrage and fear among the population. Admiral Blackwood quickly assembled a response fleet, with Dr. Reeves joining as a scientific advisor. The journey to Mars was tense, with the crew of the flagship, Defiant, steeling themselves for their first real engagement with the Krell-Thax. As they approached the Red Planet, they were met with a horrifying sight. The colony lay in ruins, with Krell-Thax ships methodically destroying what remained of the human presence on Mars. Admiral Blackwood's voice rang out across the fleet, "This is the moment we've prepared for. Remember your training, remember what we're fighting for. Today, we show these aliens that humanity will not go quietly into the night." The battle for Mars began in earnest. Human ships, though outnumbered, fought with a ferocity that seemed to catch the Krell-Thax off guard. Dr. Reeves' upgrades proved their worth as Earth vessels withstood barrages that would have previously destroyed them instantly. The tide began to turn when a young pilot, Lieutenant Zara Chen, executed a daring maneuver that allowed her squadron to take out a Krell-Thax command ship. With their coordination disrupted, the alien fleet began to falter. Admiral Blackwood seized the opportunity, ordering a full assault that drove the Krell-Thax from Mars orbit. As the last enemy ship retreated, a cheer went up throughout the human fleet. They had won their first victory against the alien invaders. The triumph at Mars galvanized humanity. News of the victory spread rapidly, inspiring hope and determination across Earth. Recruitment for the Space Forces soared, and public support for the war effort reached new heights. However, Admiral Blackwood and Dr. Reeves knew that this was only the beginning. In the weeks that followed, the Krell-Thax launched a series of probing attacks on Earth's outer colonies and space stations. Each time, they were met with fierce resistance. The human defenders, emboldened by their success at Mars, fought with increasing skill and confidence. Dr. Reeves continued to push the boundaries of human technology, incorporating insights gained from each encounter with the Krell-Thax. Her team developed more efficient energy weapons, improved faster-than-light drives, and even began work on a device that could disrupt Krell-Thax communications. As the conflict escalated, Earth's leaders debated the next move. Some advocated for a defensive strategy, focusing on protecting human-controlled space. Others, including Admiral Blackwood, argued for taking the fight to the enemy. "We can't win this war by just reacting," he stated during a tense meeting of the United Earth Alliance Council. "We need to strike at the heart of their operations." The decision was made to launch a major offensive against a key Krelthax staging area in the Alpha Centauri system. This would be humanity's first major push into enemy-controlled space, a risky move that could either turn the tide of the war or end in disaster. As preparations for the offensive began, Dr. Reeves made a startling discovery. Hidden within the data she had stolen from the Krelthax was information about a splinter faction within their society. This group, it seemed, opposed the war and sought peaceful coexistence with other species. If true, this could provide humanity with a potential ally among the enemy ranks. Admiral Blackwood saw the potential in this information but urged caution. "We can't pin our hopes on an unproven alliance," he warned. "We proceed with the offensive as planned, but we'll keep this information in our back pocket. It might just give us an edge when we need it most." As the human fleet prepared to embark on its most ambitious mission yet, a sense of anticipation and dread filled the air. The fate of humanity would be decided in the crucible of interstellar war, with the outcome far from certain. But one thing was clear: humanity would not go down without a fight. The Xandari invasion of Earth began with a devastating assault on major cities worldwide. Massive alien ships descended from the sky, their energy weapons carving paths of destruction through urban centers. Humanity's military forces scrambled to mount a defense, but they were outmatched by the advanced Xandari technology. In the chaos of the initial attack, a young soldier named Jack Harper emerged as an unlikely hero. Harper, stationed at a remote military outpost, managed to hack into the Xandari communication network. His discovery of a weakness in their defense systems would prove crucial in the coming battle. As the Xandari pushed inland, pockets of human resistance formed. Civilians and soldiers alike banded together, using guerrilla tactics to slow the alien advance. In the ruins of New York City, a group led by former police officer Maria Sanchez became known for their daring raids on Xandari supply lines. Meanwhile, in orbit, the remnants of Earth's space fleet engaged in a desperate battle against the Xandari Armada. Captain Liam Chen, commanding the last operational carrier, the USS Defiant, orchestrated a series of hit-and-run attacks that kept the aliens off balance. On the ground, Dr. Olivia Reeves worked tirelessly to adapt the stolen Xandari technology for human use. Her breakthroughs in shield technology and energy weapons began to level the playing field. As more human forces were equipped with these new weapons, the tide of battle slowly began to turn. The turning point came during the Battle of London. The Xandari, overconfident from their early victories, launched a massive assault on the city. But they were met with fierce resistance. Jack Harper, now leading a special ops team, used his knowledge of Xandari communications to coordinate a devastating counterattack. As the battle raged, Maria Sanchez and her resistance fighters emerged from the underground, striking at key Xandari positions. Their actions sowed confusion among the alien forces, creating openings for the main human army to exploit. In orbit, Captain Chen executed a daring maneuver, using the moon's gravity to slingshot the Defiant into the heart of the Xandari fleet. The surprise attack disrupted the aliens' command and control, leaving their ground forces without crucial orbital support. Dr. Reeves, working from a hidden laboratory, activated a network of energy disruptors she had secretly planted around the city. The devices interfered with Xandari weapons and shields, leaving them vulnerable to human counterattacks. The combined efforts of these heroes and countless others fighting across the globe finally broke the Xandari offensive. For the first time since the invasion began, humanity had won a major victory. The aliens were forced to retreat, regrouping in their orbital stations to reassess their strategy. As news of the victory spread, hope reignited around the world. Humanity had proven that despite the odds, they could stand against the Xandari threat. The battle for Earth was far from over, but the tide had turned. Humanity was no longer fighting for survival, they were fighting to reclaim their world. In the aftermath of the Battle of London, global leaders convened to form a united front against the Xandari. The newly created Earth Defense Force combined the best minds and resources from every nation. Jack Harper, Maria Sanchez, Captain Chen, and Dr. Reeves were all given key roles in the new organization. As Earth prepared for the next phase of the war, the lessons learned from the London victory were applied globally. Guerrilla tactics, adapted alien technology, and coordinated strikes became the cornerstone of humanity's strategy. The Xandari, who had expected an easy conquest, now faced a determined and increasingly capable opponent. The war for Earth had entered a new phase. Humanity, once on the brink of defeat, now stood united and defiant. The Xandari would soon learn that underestimating human resilience was a costly mistake, one that would ultimately lead to their downfall. The war against the Xandari had reached a critical juncture. Humanity and its allies had suffered heavy losses, but their determination remained unshaken. Admiral Reynolds, the brilliant strategist leading the human forces, knew they needed a game-changing victory to turn the tide. Intelligence reports revealed a weakness in the Xandari defenses near the Epsilon Centauri system. This heavily fortified sector was home to a massive Xandari shipyard, crucial for maintaining their fleet. If destroyed, it would cripple the Xandari's ability to wage war. Reynolds assembled a task force led by the newly promoted Captain Olivia Chen. Her reputation for unconventional tactics made her the perfect choice for this high-risk mission. Chen's flagship, the Defiant, was accompanied by a diverse fleet of human and allied vessels. As they approached Epsilon Centauri, the task force encountered heavy resistance. Xandari patrol ships swarmed around them, their energy weapons lighting up the void of space. Chen's quick thinking saved the day. She ordered her ships to use the system's dense asteroid field as cover, confusing the Xandari sensors. The battle raged on for hours, with both sides taking heavy losses. Just when it seemed the humans might be overwhelmed, Chen unveiled her secret weapon. A team of engineers had developed a virus capable of disrupting Xandari ship systems. As the virus spread through the enemy fleet, their ships began to malfunction, giving the humans the upper hand. With the Xandari fleet in disarray, Chen led a daring assault on the shipyard. The Defiant and its escorts dodged through a hail of defensive fire, launching precision strikes against key structures. The shipyard's reactor core was hit, triggering a chain reaction that tore the facility apart. As the task force retreated, they watched the massive explosion that marked their victory. The destruction of the shipyard was a turning point in the war. Xandari ship production was severely hampered, and news of the human victory spread quickly, inspiring resistance across occupied territories. Back on Earth, Admiral Reynolds praised Chen's leadership and ingenuity. The victory at Epsilon Centauri had shifted the balance of power. For the first time since the war began, humanity dared to hope for more than just survival. They began to believe they could win. With momentum on their side, humanity and its allies prepared for a final offensive against the Xandari homeworld. Admiral Reynolds knew this would be their toughest challenge yet. The Xandari would fight with everything they had to defend their home. The Allied fleet gathered near the edge of Xandari space, an armada unlike anything seen before in galactic history. Ships from a dozen different species flew side by side, united in their goal to end the Xandari threat once and for all. As they entered Xandari territory, they were met with fierce resistance. The space around the Xandari homeworld was a maze of defense platforms, minefields, and enemy ships. The battle that ensued was epic in scale, with thousands of ships clashing in a desperate struggle. Captain Chen, now commanding a battle group, led the charge against the Xandari's outer defenses. Her ships weaved through enemy fire, taking down defense platforms and creating openings for the rest of the fleet. The fighting was intense, with losses mounting on both sides. On the ground, Special Forces teams infiltrated key Xandari installations. Led by the decorated soldier, Major Marcus Thorne, these teams fought their way through heavily defended facilities, sabotaging weapons systems and gathering crucial intelligence. The turning point came when Thorne's team discovered the location of the Xandari High Command bunker. With this information, Admiral Reynolds ordered a concentrated assault on the area. The bunker's defenses were formidable, but the combined firepower of the Allied fleet eventually broke through. As Allied forces stormed the bunker, the Xandari leadership realized their defeat was inevitable. In a final act of desperation, they activated a doomsday device, threatening to destroy their own planet and take the Allied fleet with them. It was Captain Chen who saved the day once again. Leading a small team, she fought her way to the device's control room. With seconds to spare, Chen's expert hacking skills allowed her to deactivate the device, averting catastrophe. With their leadership captured and their defenses in ruins, the Xandari finally surrendered. The war that had raged across the galaxy for years was over. Humanity and its allies had emerged victorious against all odds. In the aftermath of the war, the galaxy entered a period of reconstruction and healing. The defeat of the Xandari had opened up new possibilities for cooperation between species. Humanity, having played a crucial role in the victory, found itself in a position of leadership. Admiral Reynolds, hailed as the architect of victory, oversaw the formation of a new galactic council. This body would ensure peace and promote cooperation between all sentient species. The first order of business was to help rebuild worlds devastated by the war, including the Xandari homeworld. Captain Chen, recognized for her bravery and tactical genius, was appointed as Earth's representative to the council. Her experiences during the war made her a strong advocate for understanding and cooperation between different species. Major Thorne took charge of a new interspecies peacekeeping force. This organization would help maintain stability and respond to any threats that might arise in the post-war galaxy. As the years passed, the scars of war began to heal. Former enemies became allies, working together to explore the vastness of space. Scientific and cultural exchanges flourished, leading to rapid advancements in technology and understanding. Humanity's resilience and determination had not only saved them from extinction but had ushered in a new era of peace and prosperity for the entire galaxy. The story of their victory against the Xandari became legend, inspiring future generations to reach for the stars. As the narrative of this epic struggle comes to a close, we are reminded of the incredible potential that lies within humanity. When faced with overwhelming odds, humans showed they could unite, innovate, and overcome any challenge. The galaxy would never be the same, and the future looked brighter than ever before.